Today's video is brought to us by Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're like most gun owners who like to repair and upgrade your own firearms, well, why not take that passion and turn it into a career? SDI is a distance learning institute, and all of the materials and tools are shipped directly to your door. They have classes on ballistics, gunsmithing, armorer's courses, and even drone classes. You can get your certificate or your degree and take that step now. Check out the link down below and in the pinned comment, sdi.edu. And thank you to the Sonoran Desert Institute for making today's video possible. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to tell you about two things. First, we're going to talk about the new ATF gun czar that Biden was gifted yesterday, as well as another lawsuit by another pro-gun group that is standing for our rights and is not taking the BS any longer. All right, so let's talk about what happened yesterday in the Senate. The Senate voted to confirm Joe Biden's second nominee to be the permanent director of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Clowns, the ATF. And Steve Dettelbach was yesterday appointed as the permanent director. It's the second permanent director in the history of the ATF. Everybody else has been an acting director. And the way it happened should be concerning, especially if you live in Ohio or Maine, because your rhino senators, Susan Collins, Maine, Rob Portman, Ohio, who's retiring, they voted in favor of confirming the nomination of Stephen Dettelbach. Why is this important? Well, if they voted no, it would have been 46 to 48. He wouldn't have been nominated if they just did what they were supposed to do and vote in favor of the Constitution of the United States. You don't vote an anti-gun person into the anti-gun group that's masquerading as a government agency whose sole desire in life is to violate people's rights, specifically the Second Amendment. That's not what the Constitution's for. It's not what it says, and that's not what they put their hand in the air and said their oath. That's not what the oath says either. But I digress. We know what's going on in this country. But we had two rhinos vote for the alter ego of David Chipman. They're both the same type of person. They're both for gun bans. They're both for whatever their master says. And we have an interesting period going forward with the ATF. Not just because of Dettelbach, but because the West Virginia versus EPA decision saying that, hey, you don't have as much power as you think you do to unilaterally make rules into laws because you weren't given that ability by Congress. And then the decision, the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin case, which says unless it's in the text of the Second Amendment or in the history and tradition of this country in relations to the Second Amendment, then it shall not be infringed. So this is an interesting little period, a little flux period. But know that the only reason this clown got voted in was because of two rhinos, one in Maine, one in Ohio, and they are the same. They're two rhinos that also voted for the bipartisan gun control that they rammed through the Senate and then the House, and Joe Biden signed into law 2 weeks ago, but then had a little celebration on the lawn of the White House, the South Lawn, so that he could have a little pomp and circumstance, and that backfired on him too. So thanks to the rhinos, the ATF has a director now who will carry out Biden's anti-gun scheme and plan. And don't forget, he also said the other day, Biden, that he will not stop until he bans assault weapons again and high-capacity magazines. So let's stay vigilant on that one. Now let's turn the page and let's talk about Firearms Policy Coalition. Firearms Policy Coalition yesterday filed a federal lawsuit against New York. That's two lawsuits in 2 days, or two lawsuits in 3 days, three lawsuits in 4 days against New York about, specifically related to their turning up their gun control when the Supreme Court said that your gun control is unconstitutional. And now Firearms Policy Coalition have filed a lawsuit against New York's unconstitutional assault weapon ban. Now here is the first page of the complaint on the screen, and you can see the plaintiffs and the defendants being the New York State Attorney General Letitia James, the New York State Police Superintendent Kevin Bruin, Nassau County District Attorney Ann Donnelly, and Suffolk County District Attorney Raymond Tierney. Let's look at a quote from our friend Matthew LaRosiere of Firearms Policy Coalition, and he said, "Enough is enough. The people of New York have suffered this abuse for far too long. The arms targeted by New York's ban are ordinary arms kept by ordinary people for ordinary but extremely important purposes, including the fundamental right to an effective self-defense. There is no justification for threatening peaceable people with long stints in a government cage for merely possessing a firearm, regardless of what that particular firearm looks like. With this suit, we hope to end this injustice that has for too long imperiled New Yorkers. Now, the lawsuit starts out with talking about how New York bans rifles that are in common use, then goes into how New York's laws violate the Second Amendment, as well as major landmark cases, including the Bruin decision. And let me throw up one quick quote from the lawsuit. There is no constitutionally relevant difference between a semi-automatic handgun, shotgun, and rifle. While some exterior physical attributes may differ, wood versus metal stocks and furniture, the number and or location of grips, having a bare muzzle versus having muzzle devices, different barrel lengths, etc., they are in all relevant respects the same. And the lawsuit goes through the whole plethora of things that New York says if your gun has this, then it's a scary assault weapon. And then the lawsuit goes on to say that, this violates the Second and 14th Amendments and asks for the law to be struck down as unconstitutional. I will have a link down below to this lawsuit if you'd like to read it. It's 18 pages. It's a quick read. It's a good read. And thank you to Firearms Policy Coalition for doing this. Again, support those who support you. There's a link in the description of every video on how you can support and join Firearms Policy Coalition. Remember, these groups cannot take up lawsuits in states where they don't have members. So shedding that large pizza once a year to send that money towards these groups to become a member helps tremendously. And also donate what you can, whether it's $5, $15, $500. These guys and gals who are doing the work to fight need the money to do the work to fight. They're nonprofits. So thank you to those who have stepped up. I'll keep you up to date, guys and gals. There's a lot of stuff, again, going on. This is a very crucial period right now. Everything's in flux. We're looking at New York, several lawsuits. Will these initial challenges put an end to everything right away based off the Bruin decision, or will the courts figure out another way to go around the Supreme Court? All that and more will be playing itself out very rapidly. So if you want to stay in the know, subscribe to the channel right down below. Just hit that little red button. That's all you got to do to become a member of this growing freedom family. And while you're down there, hit the bell icon, turn it on to all notifications, and like the video and share it if you got anything out of it or you think more freedom-minded people should see this stuff, because that's the only way we can destroy the anti-gun algorithm here on YouTube, is we take the efforts to share the information. Till we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. I'll see you on another video in a couple hours, I'm sure, and thank you for your support. Take care.